Hello my friends, and welcome back. In today's video, I am very excited to share with you a brand new project that I've been working on. That project is WPM, the Simple User Process Management Daemon for Windows. WPM, the Windows Process Manager. So this addresses a very long-standing pain point that I have as somebody who develops and uses software that is intended to just kind of run in the background. So if you're here for the first time, hi, my name is Cheesy. I build a whole bunch of stuff for Windows, including this very, very cool and sleek tiling window manager, which is called Komorebi. You can find a lot of information about Komorebi on this channel. I also develop WHKD, which is a simple hotkey daemon for Windows, which is what I'm using to control Komorebi. And these are just two examples of applications that just kind of run in the background, right? Like they don't have an application window. You start them and they're just kind of hanging around on the system, waiting to do something, right? So when I add a window, it's there waiting, the tiling window manager is there waiting in the background to tile my windows. The hotkey daemon is waiting for me to press a hotkey combination that I have registered to do something, usually something with the tiling window manager. And until now, oh my god, I have been... Wait, let me find this command. I have been going crazy, basically making a mini process manager very badly through the use of the Komorebi C start command. Yeah, it has not been great. Honestly, it has not been great. I finally reached my breaking point, and I began writing this user process management daemon for Windows, and I'm now using it full time, and it has changed everything for me in the space of a weekend. This weekend, I have been in a state of flow. I have been in the zone. I have been committing away. It has been really productive, really good, and I'm so happy that this is now at a point where I can use it and I can make this little video to show it off to all of you. So why don't we go through the README first. WPM is a simple user process manager for Microsoft Windows 11 and above. It probably works on Windows 10. I just don't have a Windows 10 machine here to test it on, and I'm probably not going to work on Windows 10 specific bugs, so you can try it out on Windows 10 as well. WPM allows you to start, stop, and manage user-level background processes as defined in unit files. Yes, I did take inspiration from systemd, just in case you were wondering. The usual stuff. If you like it, please make a donation to the PCRF or to a Gaza Funds campaign before you consider sponsoring me on GitHub. Sponsors. Installation, it's still not on Winget or Scoop because it's not at that level of maturity yet. If you want to try it out, you can cargo install via the Git repository. And what you need to do to get started is you need a bunch of unit files, and I have generated a whole bunch of examples which we'll take a look at. And then when you have them, you'll run this command to start the daemon, which will load all of those unit files, and then you can start and stop and log and check the status and check the state. It's so cool. It's really the missing piece for me. And you can just kind of take a look at the state output here. This is taken from my own machine. You know, I'm using it to manage Komorebi, WHKD, the bar, Kanata as well, which I use for software, keyboard mapping, Masir, and desktop, which is, oh, it's so cool. All right, so let's, oh my god, where do I even? All right, let's open up my config folder and let's start from there. Z is still a little weird at the moment, but it should be enough for what we need right now. So here we have a desktop unit file, and I gave it the name desktop. It's everything I need to work on Windows. I've defined some dependencies, so in order for this to execute, komorebi has to be running and komorebi bar has to be running. This is a one-shot service. I want it to auto start whenever WPM starts, and the executable it's going to run is message.exe. This is like a very cool little Windows 95 thing, and we're going to pass these arguments, and this is going to pop up a message that says, hey, desktop recipe is complete. You're ready to rock and roll and make cool things. So why don't we see how deep this rabbit hole goes, right? So I have requires komorebi and komorebi bar here. So let's take a look at komorebi.toml. So this is another unit file, komorebi, the tiling window manager for Windows, and we have some more requires here. So in order to start this service, WHKD and Kanata need to be running. This one is more for me. You don't need Kanata to use komorebi, but I do. So this is a simple service. It's just a process that runs in the background. It's going to run the komorebi.exe executable. It's going to pass these config arguments. User profile is a special string that we'll get to. I'm going to pass these environment variables to the process, the komorebi config home. On shutdown, we have special shutdown commands, komorebi c stop, and just in case and for good measure, we're going to run komorebi c restore Windows. And we're not auto starting this. This is something new. We have a health check command for this particular service. So we know that komorebi is up and running as it's supposed to be when the komorebi c state command returns the state, right? So komorebi c state, it returns all of the state. That's when you know it is up and running. So that's komorebi. Why don't we take a look at komorebi bar? Komorebi bar requires komorebi, so it is a required dependency. The executable is komorebi bar.exe. This is the config argument that I'm giving, and we're also passing once again the komorebi config home environment variable. Here we have two more. We have WHKD, and this is super simple, right? Like it can be this simple. You just give the unit a name and you say, I just want to run this executable in the background. Simple enough. And then Kanata is also pretty Spartan, but just passing a config flag with the path to my config and a port flag. I don't use Komokana so much anymore. I do sometimes, but the port is for integration with Komokana. So pretty cool. So how does this actually look? So I have this running here, and we can walk step by step through what is happening. So when I launch the daemon, it's going through and it's registering all of these units in that folder. here we can see desktop. Remember, we marked that as an autostart unit, autostart true. So we're auto-starting desktop. We see that desktop requires komorebi and komorebi bar. So first, we see that desktop requires komorebi. Then we look at komorebi and we see komorebi requires whkd. And whkd doesn't require anything because that is super, super simple, right? So this is the first one that we can take an action on. So whkd, starting the unit, running a liveness health check. And so what this does is it just makes sure that after a second, the process is actually running. Because there are some processes, like if you mess up the config file, they'll exit right away. So every command gets this built-in health check for free. Then once it has passed that health check, we see that komorebi also requires kanata. Same thing, we start the unit, we run the liveness check, and once we have passed the health check, then we have fulfilled all of our dependencies for komorebi, which means we are now ready to start komorebi. Now, komorebi has a custom health check command, which is komorebi c state. So the first time that I try to do the health check, komorebi hasn't started up yet. It's not fully started. So it's going to try again in 2 seconds, and then it passes that health check. And when you pass a command health check, basically you're just waiting for this to return with a success exit code, an exit code of 0, basically. Next up, desktop also requires komorebi bar. Komorebi bar requires komorebi. Well, komorebi has already been started, so that is already taken care of. So we can go straight ahead to starting this unit. Then we run the liveness check, and that gets passed because it doesn't crash immediately. And then we get on to desktop, right here, starting unit. And then desktop is a one-shot unit, so it runs something and then it exits. And this execution terminated with a successful error code, or error code exit code of 0. So this is very exciting to see in real time. I know it's not super exciting to look at logs, but it is super duper freaking exciting to see in real time. So, by the way, this also stops everything when you control C out of this, or when you kill WPM. So I'm going to control C out of this. And here we have WPMD shutting down the process manager. We stop the unit, we send kill signals, we wait for them to return, and then when we shut down komorebi, we run our custom shutdown commands. So these can also be like cleanup commands, depending on what kind of process you're managing, before sending the kill signal. So if you're still with me, thank you for still being with me. This bit is amazing. For me, like, this is, I'm so happy with this. Okay, so we're gonna run WPMD. We're gonna start the daemon. And you're gonna see this happening in real time. It's passing the liveness checks, starting komorebi, and then here, finally, once the desktop, let's move this, once the desktop unit completes, it runs message, desktop recipe completed, and hey, look, there's a message for me, desktop recipe completed. Oh, I'm so happy with this. I am so freaking happy with this. It's amazing. Like, it is absolutely amazing. There are some like monitoring related commands as well, so why don't we just get some more space here. And we can take a look at the monitoring commands. What were they? So you can tail logs actually, which is really cool. This is a really powerful thing for me because I hate having to restart processes in the foreground just to see logs. So for example, WHKD is now running in the background, so I can do WPM control log WHKD. And then you can see unstack, stack right. Well, you're not going to see that until I get back, but cycle stack next. Amazing, right? And I can do this for anything. And if you have colored logs like Komorebi, you also get those as well. You also get those coming through. So really, really nice quality of life improvement for me there. We can also WPM control, just look at the state, see what's going on, what's happening. So we can see that Komorebi is running. There's the process ID. Masir, we didn't start. We can start if we want to. I don't actually use it that much. And then desktop is a one-shot that was completed at this timestamp. Really nice. You can also get the status of, I don't know, let's do Kanata. So you can see that it is running. These are the recent logs. Yeah, this is the coolest freaking thing. I am very, very happy with this. I am unbelievably happy with this. I hope you all find this as cool as I do. This is going to be a really, really fun project for me. I already feel it. Like I know it's going to be a really cool, fun, long-running project like Komorebi, because it addresses such a fundamental problem for people like me who are very comfortable with Unix environments and Unix process management and all of that sort of stuff. And, you know, we deeply miss it when we're using Windows, right? Yeah, I can't wait to see where this goes. It's gonna be a fun ride. I cannot believe how far I have come, that I actually tried building something like this and putting it online and sharing it. It was I want to choose my words carefully here. It was scary, right? I'll say it was scary when I first started developing Komorebi in public for a number of reasons, right? Like when I started developing Komorebi, tiling window managers on Windows were not a thing, right? And they were a really established genre of applications on Linux, and they were considered a Linux-only thing. And I thought many times, am I the right person to be trying to do something like this? Right? And especially in Rust, like I didn't know Rust at the time. It was a project that I used really to learn Rust and become more familiar with it. And, you know, I was thinking, you know, there are so many big names using Rust on Windows that I wouldn't be able to do as good a job as those people, right? I thought, I am not good enough to build something like this, something this important, and especially to be somebody doing it in this way. It wasn't the first time, but you know, it was something that hadn't hit the mainstream yet. And so I thought, am I the right person to try and build a tiling window manager for Windows and to try and get it to hit the mainstream? And depending on your definition of mainstream, maybe you don't agree, but I think that this has hit the mainstream now. There are other tiling window managers out there as well. You see a lot of Windows rices now on ricing subreddits. It's a whole vibe, you know. Ricing on Windows is in the middle of a renaissance, thanks to these tools and the people that they have inspired. So I'm very happy to say that I come into this new project, WPM, without that sense of doubt in myself and without that fear, right? Like, I'm sure there are people who are far more qualified to bring a System D inspired process manager or process management experience to Windows, but they haven't done it yet. And I really need this, so I am going to do it. And it will start simple and humble, just what you've seen. And I have no doubt that over the years, as I continue to work on this, it will become a force to be reckoned with, just like Komorebi is today. And I hope that what you take away from this video is that, you know, if you're having those same sorts of feelings about your ability, about your competency, about whether you're the right person to do something, to build something, you know, if you have a need and building something or doing something is going to improve your own personal quality of life, just do it, because you deserve a better quality of life. We all do. And who knows, maybe it will help other people too, but it doesn't have to, right? It doesn't have to. Just start small and address your own pain points and take it from there. Maybe it takes off, maybe it doesn't, but you will have improved your own quality of life at the end of it. All right, I have been yapping for like the last 10 minutes, so I'm gonna call it an evening. Gosh, it's already 9 o'clock. I don't know if I'm going to be able to edit this tonight, but stay tuned for more videos, because there is a new release of Komorebi that it's technically out. Like, I released it 2 days ago, but it's not on Winget yet, so I can't really say that it's out and make the video. But this is a whole huge release with so much cool stuff, including the animations and the animated borders, and can't wait to talk about it, can't wait to show you about it. It's going to be a lot of fun, so stay tuned for that. All right, my friends, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. I'm not going to go through the whole sponsoring and whatnot. You know the deal. You can sponsor if you would like. I appreciate your sponsorship. I give you guys shout outs, all of the good stuff. If you can't sponsor because you're not in a position to sponsor, YouTube is the next best thing, because it's monetized, and like all the time you spend watching and clicking and, you know, ad revenue, blah blah blah, all of that stuff. So to wrap on up, my friends, I hope that whatever you all do today, you have a great day. Free Palestine, and I'll see you all back here next time.